Hey guys, Ben here, and welcome back to another video on The Flash Season 4, and today we're going to be doing a video about Episode 5, which is entitled Girls' Night Out. So this is going to act as a mini Arrow crossover with Felicity coming over to help the girls celebrate Iris's bachelorette party, obviously getting ready for her wedding within the next few weeks. So that's obviously going to be in the crossover. So that's when we're supposed to expect that. But I've got a wedding video that I have planned probably for tomorrow or sometime in the next few days, and we'll talk about that. But moving on to today's video, we're just going to be talking about the photos that have been released and talking about some plot points that's going to be going on throughout this episode. So as you guys know, the elongated man, aka Ralph Dibny, is actually going to be introduced during episode 4 of The Flash Season 4. So that's obviously next week's episode, and this is 2 weeks from now we're going to be seeing episode 5, Girls' Night Out. And it does seem like the elongated man is going to be around for a while longer, and he's going to be within this episode as he's featured in some of these photos. So the team is going to have to try and figure out what's going on with him and help him to try and control his powers, because as we've seen in the trailer, he's not in control and he's like, fix this, fix my arm, why is it so floppy, why is it so long? Obviously Team Flash is going to be helping him out, so I think that's one reason why he's sticking around for next week's episode. But within some of these photos we get to see Felicity, and Felicity is obviously with Iris because it's going to be a girl-centric episode, and they're going to be celebrating Iris's bachelorette party, and then obviously this is to celebrate that she's about to get married. And then the next interesting photo that I can find is them actually in some sort of police cell, because we can see Cisco, Ralph, and then a stranger who is actually sleeping on Cisco's shoulder, and the wall is very tatty and it seems like a typical prison cell, so it's more like a holding cell rather than an actual like you stay here for years prison cell. So something's happened, and for some reason they're all in the prison cell. We get to see Barry and Joe, so something's going to go down because we know they're all going out on a night out, the boys as well as the girls, but in separate locations. So we get to see Barry, and he's actually got his arm on his face and he does look hungover, so it does seem like they've caused some trouble wherever they were at, because we've seen them in the bar and it's been said that they're going to be in a bar, and most likely due to them getting drunk they're probably going to get arrested, even Joe, because they are definitely in some sort of holding cell. So like I said earlier, there's going to be a lot of heavy emphasis on the female characters during this episode, because Iris is going to be celebrating her bachelorette party, and within the episode the main villain is actually going to be a woman, and she's going to be connected to Caitlin's story. So the idea of it being a girls' night out episode is actually going to link into the actual story, because Caitlin's going to be out and she's probably going to have some sort of conflict whilst they're out with Katie Sackhoff's character Amunet Black. So she was mentioned in episode 1 of season 4, so she's actually playing the character called Blacksmith, and her name is actually Amunet Black, and she's going to be the villain of the episode, and she's going to recur later in the season. So we get to see her accomplice, who was actually in episode 1, and this guy was hanging out at the bar where Caitlin actually works. So Caitlin actually ended up assaulting him, and basically what Blacksmith is, she's created some sort of underground black market, and Caitlin obviously worked for her at some point, as it was explored a bit in episode 1, but it's going to come back to haunt her past life as Killer Frost, because throughout the summer she's trying to figure out what she is and who she is. Like, is she actually Killer Frost? Is she not Killer Frost? Is she a mix between both? So we're going to explore a lot more Killer Frost, so I'm very excited for that. And hopefully Amunet Black has her powers, because in some iterations of the comics Amunet actually has powers, and I do hope to see a Killer Frost versus Blacksmith fight. But talking about Katie Sackhoff's new character Amunet Black, who's going to be within this episode, she actually looks really scary. I've got to say, that smile when I first looked at her, I was like, hell no. I feel like the black leather costume with the shoulder padding actually really emphasizes how she's actually called Blacksmith, that she works in the darkness, and that she's actually a proper villain. So I'm very excited to see her. She looks very scary. But anyway guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like and a comment and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.
It doesn't make you strong.